It's a trap, you walked right into the hate. All over a new king that's face is just replaced. It's all the same, you still be ruled by force. And no matter who it is, they'll still carry on the torch. Just a lie, cheat, steal, half of what you make. Taxation is theft, it's time to vacate the state. Newsflash, all your cash is an IOU. From killers who really do steal from you. Inflation is a weapon used by every nation who says that they're saving the world through lies. That they disguise and pass off as bravery. Well, I got news, debt is slavery. It don't matter who's madder, a new master don't matter. When they both want the same, the state don't play no games. They got you trying to survive and put you on sides and ready to kill each other. That's conquer and divide. It's all for show, or for hyper-control.
And we're back with another episode of Buns and Hubs. We're here with you on this rainy Tuesday. It's raining out.
It's almost blustery.
Been raining for the last 2 days, you know.
Started your ARC preparations yet?
Yeah, it's very vet.
Makes me sleepy.
Yeah, it does, right?
It's like some leftover caveman shit.
Well, that's what they say, is that it is leftover caveman shit. Because basically, back in the old days, when it rained, you really couldn't do nothing. So you just sat in the cave and slept all day.
Yeah.
Preserved your energy.
I wanted to stay in the cave for like the last week.
Yeah. That's here and there, but we're here today doing the show for you guys.
Oh, shit. Ohio podcast.
Hey, what's up, dog?
What's going on, boys?
We're here with you today. We're going to do our show.
Yeah.
Nice little show for you today. Probably not a super long one, I imagine. It's going to be a good one.
What'd you think of the story?
The story?
Well, the topic story.
Oh, yeah, I liked it. Who suggested that?
We're going to call him the Viking.
Viking? Okay. All right, well, yeah, thank you, the Viking.
Bob's and Vagine, please.
And actually, if you want to see the Viking, you should tune into the latest episode of I'm Starving Bitch on YouTube with Devin Crowley.
I need to get back in the kitchen. 'Cause I'm starving, bitch.
It's a good one.
It's really good. I did not share it on any of our socials because they were rocking that cult flag on his shirt. But that's fine, you know. I love him anyway.
Yeah. Had that blue line rocking it.
That's fine. You know, do what you do, I guess. Just wouldn't wear that when the boogaloo happens.
Yeah. So, what's been going on here lately?
Our podcasts are on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, just about everywhere. There's not one that I can't think of. If you listen to podcasts, we're on there. Chances
are you've already found us.
Yeah. Well, someone asked.
Oh, okay.
Sincerely, Nick asked.
Okay. But what's been going on this week?
Trying to think. I heard a neat Epstein theory.
Okay, yeah. Let's break it down.
I think we talked about it. They said that supposedly, you know, it's another one of those 8chan deals. I don't know if it's 8chan, but it's one of those anonymous, you know, chat pages. Mm-hmm. They said that it would become apparent once the court case moved forward against the other people that are under that secret indictment.
Yeah.
That Epstein cooperated fully, was then taken into protective custody, sent to Israel due to his ties with the Mossad, and was given facial surgeries.
Yeah.
I know. Sounds fancy, but I did hear it this week.
That's a conspiracy theory. It has to be addressed. Now, here's the thing. There's so many routes here, but the most like unoptimistic and pessimistic version of myself says he's dead.
Yeah.
His indictment's dead. Anybody that he was going to take with him, they're okay now. They're safe.
We have a few of the Q crowd that I'd like to address with the newest Higher Side Chats podcast.
Yeah.
Where he points out interesting connections between Epstein and Trump. The only one I'll mention is the fact that the AG Barr, his father, gave Jeffrey Epstein a job as a charter school headmaster with 0 qualifications.
Oh, that's always good.
So I'm sure that he's going to give a fair and honest assessment of everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But no, other than that, I mean, I just don't see the like I said, it's very grandiose to think that Mossad swept him away and picked him up, gave him facial reconstructive surgery. I'm not taking it out. I mean, it's not outside the realm of possibility. I still lean towards the more likely he's dead.
Yeah, it's probably the worst case scenario. Either he's absolutely just dead or he got away. Like he paid to get out.
Yeah. Which makes you wonder, like, if that's the case, then there truly is no actual justice that exists.
No.
Because
I think that's why everyone loves the Batman movie, you know, the Batman story. Because vigilante justice is the only way.
Well,
the government's inept at every level.
Okay, that's true. But I would go on to say some philosophers would disagree with you about what justice means.
Yeah.
The difference between justice and revenge being the main focal point.
And that's,
you know what I mean?
You know, we're here to disagree. with, it's like a thought factory where we pound out the best finished thoughts.
Exactly. But other than that, G7.
I haven't even looked into that yet.
G7's been going on this week.
I saw a gross picture of somebody sucking the orange man's cock where they had him sitting at a table at G7 looking back, like giving the thumbs up to the camera, and it's like, when your president loves your country.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are you talking? So you go to globalist sell out your country meetings if you love your country. Is that
exactly, yeah.
He's fighting for freedom.
G7. All of these summits, Bilderberg, G7, G20, they're all a bunch of fucking globalist nonsense as far as I'm concerned.
Right. I don't know. I agree with Sincerely Nick there. She posts, there is no justice until we the people force it.
I won't disagree with that.
Tell you what, we don't get it is by being distracted by false flags after something hits the news and then forgetting about it and not asking and demanding justice.
It just seems like it's been like it's quieted down a bit. You know
for sure.
The den is a little bit quieter than it was.
Yeah.
Like just like not even a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like everybody's chilled the fuck out for the most part.
How you can get like mainstream outlets admitting to the things that we've talked about for a while with the sexual elite, pedophile trafficking rings and all that. They're actually talking about this shit, and then all of a sudden, like a week and a half later, it's just like, no big deal.
It's no big deal, guys.
That fluoride's working. For anyone out there that's taking notes and wonders, the fluoride is definitely doing its work.
Yeah. You know what's not doing the work for me? Carbs.
Yeah. Keto problems.
Week 2.
I have noticed, I don't know what you do in your free time, because I've been known to sleepwalk and bash 3 packs of Oreos, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't think you had been, so I have to imagine you're doing well.
Yeah, it's okay. It's better now than it was last week.
Yeah.
Last Tuesday, I was feeling it.
Going through it?
Yeah.
You're not having any withdrawals or anything?
Nah, I'm done now.
How the craving's treating you?
It's all right. It's better than it was.
Not as bad.
Yeah. Going to the grocery store sucks, but...
Yeah.
Other than that,
Would you agree or disagree when people say, well, I would do keto except it's too expensive? I feel like it's cheaper or just the same.
I'd say it's probably about the same in all reality.
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
You're buying more of one thing and not buying other things.
Carbs and sugar are cheap, but that doesn't mean anything, really.
You know what's weird is there's, like, carbs and shit that, like, last night I had, like, hamburgers and hot dogs without the buns, of course. Hot dogs had carbs, and I was like, what the fuck?
Well, yeah, well, I mean, it's like assholes of 7 different animals mixed with filler, whatever filler
there's
is.
There's some fucking sugar in there?
Sugar? I mean, fuck, who knows? You ever seen how they make that shit?
Yeah, I still eat hot dogs. I don't care.
What's that? It's almost as gross as those chicken nuggets from McDonald's, the pink goo.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, though. You look at the wildlife and shit, and they eat, like, fucking intestines full of shit and stuff like that. So, I mean, like...
Right. Well, that's why vultures have elderly people heads, because they eat the intestines out of the asshole, right?
Well, yeah, they...
Shaped like nature's elderly cock.
That's the reason they're bald, is because to keep, like, so when they get the gore all over their head, like, if they had feathers on their head, it would, like, mat up and, like, cause infections and stuff. But because it's bald, it cleans easier.
That reminds me of, like, Flintstones. Your job sucks.
It's a living.
Yeah. OG Big Baby asks, why do you think people love the image of vigilante justice but don't seek it out personally against the government / those in power that are abusing said power? Fear?
Well, I would say so. A lot of people have just willingly cucked themselves out to let the government take care of them instead of actually taking care of business themselves. But here's the thing, though, is more often than not, people taking care of their business and taking it in their own hands tends to go horribly wrong for them, and usually gets them on the wrong side of the law as well.
Yeah. It didn't seem that strange when we were going through it, but I guess we were kids when 9/11 happened, right?
Yeah.
And then, like, to see the fervor. You had 9/11 and then 9/12, 9/13, everybody was coming together, and it was like a sweet building experiment of humanity.
Yeah.
Racial lines ceased to exist. Stuff like that. And then everybody got behind the banner of the military, like, go over there and fuck up those brown people, even though that country we attacked had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
You didn't really feel it at the time, but, like, looking back on it, it's terrifying.
Yeah.
So I think if maybe it is fear that keeps you from seeking justice, like, fear is a very effective tool, one way or another.
Yeah.
Especially if you're not the one with the blood in the fight.
Yeah. And the other thing you got to take is like with the world disease known as solipsism.
Yeah, preach.
When you're in the depths of solipsism, justice and the meaning of justice becomes, instead of being objective, becomes subjective. So what someone construe as justice, if they're in the solipsistic mindset, can't actually like understand what true justice is.
Right.
You have to view justice objectively, not subjectively. Like, you can't let your own personal feelings get involved with it. You know what I mean?
Justice is definitely not subjective.
It's like, think about it like this. I mean, we know that like companies have been poisoning groundwater and just like, here's the thing. Like, we've talked about climate change before, and I'm not really on board with all of their shit, but I am a conservationist. And I do understand.
It almost sounded like you said conservationist.
Right? Okay.
I'm sorry. It's the caffeine.
Okay, I consider myself a conservationist, right?
Yeah.
So, that being said, I know companies have dumped, like, poison into our fucking groundwater supply, like DuPont and Dow Chemical and stuff like that. And there's something to be said for that.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like, I think I saw a picture the other day someone had taken of a graffiti art that said that we know who's destroying the planet, and they have names and addresses.
Yeah. Burn it down.
So, like, if you're viewing a justice from an objective viewpoint, the people who are like, you know, literally like supplying us with our own demise, like choking out our oceans with plastic and fucking. Did somebody say something?
Well, we've got Steve from the Baked and Wake podcast. Hey, fuck nuts. It's me, Steve. And then we've got Blaine Burchett. Shout out to my tractors out there putting in work.
Jeez. What's up, Blaine?
Hello. Riley Watson, too. Hey, hi. How are you?
But the thing is that there's something to be said about conservation. You know what I mean? I mean, you look at right now, like, you know, fucking Amazon's on fire. And the thing is, it is a forest, so it will grow back.
Yeah.
But there is something...
As long as we don't fucking fill it with cow pastures before it can grow back.
Yeah, like, and, you know, you even have tribes that live in that area saying that it was intentionally set. Like, it was no accident that these fires were started.
I wonder, does that area of the Amazon have anything to do with that lawsuit that they won? Did you see that floating around?
Yeah.
So they won the lawsuit, the companies had to back off, and then all of a sudden it catches on fire.
Mm-hmm.
That's neat.
It's a good story. Nice story, bro.
Bruh.
We all know what you're really doing.
Yeah, I don't know where the divide is, but you have legitimate problems. Like you said, dumping chemicals. I always point to radioactive things, you know, like Fukushima still constantly dumping water into the ocean, killing off the reef and just life in general.
Yeah.
And then you have the people that are autistic that get on the rowboat or sailboats and come across to preach at us for driving SUVs and shit. Like,
and then
suck a dick.
And that's the thing, like, I think we go back to my original stance on climate change, and that's that the man-made emissions aren't the number one cause. There's so much more going on that we can't control. That we have no part of. It's going to happen regardless of whether we like it or not. And at this point, like they're trying to stem the tide of it. How about try to stem the tide of it? How about you try to help those people that are going to be affected by it the most?
Right. Or just get your life together on the most basic level for human suffering. Like, what's going on in Flint, Michigan still?
Apparently, the water's even worse than it was before. Like,
you don't have one of these cocksucking millionaires out there that love to virtue signal that can't just dump the money in there required. It's like $100 million.
Hey, I got a policy that wouldn't piss anybody off that Donald Trump could do.
Yeah.
How about you declare a state of emergency for Flint, Michigan and have their fucking water supply cleaned up? You know what? Get the army, instead of worrying about the fucking border and the wall and all that shit, why don't you get the Army Corps of Engineers up to fucking Flint and figure this shit out?
I just got chills thinking about the Army not paying attention to brown babies.
Well, now, here's the thing, though. Like, listen, like, you think about it. I want to stop them from putting up fences to stop brown babies and go to Michigan.
Save our brown babies.
And save our brown babies that are here already drinking bad water and having to bathe in it. Like,
lead? Really?
I mean, it's that fucking simple.
It's too simple. I think that's why it hurts so much. Apparently the Congo's burning too. Steve from the Baked and Wake podcast said the Congo's burning too. We dead.
We all did. As long as that giant ring of trees in the Arctic doesn't start burning, I think we'll be okay, though. You know that exists, right?
No.
There's like literally in the Arctic Circle, there's just this giant fucking forest that rings the top of the earth that is just fucking, they're all fucking evergreens. right? And I think some crazy amount of the Earth's oxygen comes from said fucking forest.
Yeah.
So, as long as that doesn't start burning, which something tells me if...
God damn. Here we go.
What?
Government bullshit again. OG Big Baby, I read somewhere that a stimulus package was sent to Michigan for the water crisis, but it wasn't used as planned. So it's just like the...
Imagine my shock.
It's just like that hurricane we talked about last week where they're still finding tens of thousands of bottles of water in fields and shit.
Well, and here's the problem with that. That's why in a crisis like this, you don't send money. Money doesn't solve all the problems.
No.
You don't send fucking money. You send, like I said, send the Army Corps of Engineers, an actual body of humans that work for the government to go fucking fix the problem.
You're sure that sending large money, like large sums of money to corrupt politicians won't fix the problem?
I'm about 100% positive. I mean, look at what happened in Puerto Rico. And they got another hurricane on the way right now.
Yeah. Hey.
So you're going to have about fucking, how many bottles of water that are just left in a fucking field somewhere? You're going to have another fucking gigantic fucking dump yard full of fucking water bottles again.
I can't wait.
Because you contracted out your fucking your help and your resources. God damn it, I hate these alphabet organizations because they're just as shitty though.
We're not talking about you, alphabet boy that watches us. We love you.
No, I'm talking, you know what I'm talking about.
I'm just trying to keep it going. You know, keep it rolling happy.
Those alphabet organizations that don't do anything really to help anybody.
Nope, they didn't do nothing. It's a fact. Baked and Awake said he's recording, so we're on mute, but he loves looking at turbs. Big old hunk of man meat.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
And then he said, yum. Because you saucy.
Well, thank you.
If you're not sure what we're talking about, we're recording live on Instagram Live.
Like we always do every week.
Every week, every Tuesday, sometime between 12 a.m. and 12 p.m. 12 p.m., 12 a.m., somewhere in there.
Doing the good work.
Yeah, Benetron Prime. So if you hear me rant off more autistic than normal, that's why. I'm reading and commenting. We're trying to keep it fresh.
But other than that, I mean, I haven't really seen anything else been going on here lately.
No, we've entered one of those ebb periods.
Yeah.
It's like the world's gasping, getting ready for the next act. We did have some Russian shit going on the other day. Russia's back in the news. What was that treaty that we ripped up and shit on? The pieces of.
Did it have to do with the ballistic missile treaty we had? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You see how Russia responded?
Did they lit off some ballistic missiles?
Well, here's what happened.
Yeah.
We said fuck your treaty.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Our dick is so much bigger than your dick.
Yeah.
And then we shook it. We got the angle just right, and we sent him a cock picture.
Nice.
I don't know if you've ever done that. I never have, but I will say ours is pretty fat and gross in America, so we sent that overseas. Russia said, it's a nice missile test there. You had to have been developing that while you were under the treaty, so that's cool. There will be massive repercussions for this. And then I want to say 2-3 days later, they had a simultaneous North Pole and South Pole Russian submarines pop up and shoot ICBMs that weren't nuclear payloaded, but they could be.
Tests.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Totally fine.
Speaking of Russia, I actually heard a conspiracy theory the other day running around in leftist circles that I actually thought was fucking juicy.
Juicy.
You ready for this?
I am.
Okay, so apparently the accusation is that AOC and her politics and everything that she is, her quote-unquote grassroots campaign, none of it is organic.
Oh.
And it was funded by none other than RT, the Russian Times, because apparently the PAC that she's a part of is funded by a subsidiary company of the Russian Times. So the theory is that she's a puppet to make Democrats look fucking retarded.
You know what's even crazier about that theory?
What's that?
The satellites that are owned by... the satellites that are used to blast out RT all over the world are owned by Israel.
Really?
Yes.
So Russian Times is owned by Israel?
It just got deep, didn't it? Thick.
Listen,
what if... How many layers are in this cake?
Well, here's the thing. People... Trump supporters and Trump trainers always say, "Oh, well, he's playing 5D chess." You know what I mean? So if he's playing 5D chess, then these motherfuckers are playing fucking 12D chess at this point.
If I did closed captioning for this Instagram live video, when he said those people, I would put in closed captions, men with tiny hats.
Yeah.
So, sorry, not sorry.
But that's the theory I heard this week running in circles, is that she's not, her campaign or nothing about it is organic. She's a plant.
Well, that makes me somewhat comfortable because it's hard to think that she could be legitimate. So that's comforting. But it's also uncomfortable because of how many people fucking would give their lives for her.
Yeah. And that's the other thing. She could theoretically be the plant to be basically a dog whistle for certain groups of people to kind of clump them together.
Yeah.
To get people to realize who's who. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Polarization.
So that those could be targeted easier.
Man, heavy.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Because, like, when you think about the stupid shit that comes out of her mouth, like the other day when she said that the Electoral College is racist.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's good.
Now, here's the thing. I will say this. There are people in history who put racial tones on what was the Electoral College. But I would say in the modern times, it serves a different purpose.
Yeah.
You know, you have people... I saw a great article. It was a op-ed from USA Today about that said basically, if you got rid of the Electoral College, you would turn the Midwest and people who live in rural areas into serfs.
Yeah.
More or less.
Because most of the highly populated areas are, would you say, leftist white?
Well, the president of the United States would be elected by, if we went by popular vote, the president would have been elected by like 36 counties in the country.
That's crazy. And
the other, 500-something counties or more, I don't know how many fucking counties there are in the U.S., a shitload, would have no fucking representation.
Right.
When it came to that. So
it is okay to watch the Bones and Tub stream while driving.
Is it?
That's Blaine Burchett asked if it was okay.
Yeah, it's perfectly fine.
And when I said men in tiny hats, it must have summoned the Condor, because now he's in the chat room.
Yeah, that's the main narrative I've been hearing, is that she's not organic. She's there to make people look bad. Get as many people, like I said, not only just her supporters, but people politically aligned with her. Yeah. To get them all closer, because it's easier to target them.
Right.
When they're like that.
That's why we aren't a democracy. We're a representative republic. Pure democracy is tyranny of the majority. The founders warned of this. The Condor. Nose emoji.
Nothing truer than that statement right there.
No lie detected.
Well, that and the fact that we're a nation of states. Yeah. Each state has its own sovereignty.
Seems like they only use the 10th Amendment whenever it involves tyranny. Like promoting tyranny. It's never for freedom.
Yeah. But other than that, I would say that about does it for stuff that's been going on. Yeah. How about we get to what we wanted to talk about today?
Let's do it. I did the best to memorize it because I don't have a screen in front of me. So
and that's cool.
If you want to read the synopsis, we will then discuss.
Okay. This came to us from the Viking.
The Viking.
Rick, and he messaged us and said he wanted us to talk about Thomas Lynn Bradford. Apparently he committed suicide when he was young. Well, let me just read this. I was reading the text, and I was like, this is kind of jumbly. Okay, he wasn't in his 20s. He was 48.
Right. What was the year? I know it was back. This is in our wheelhouse of the older episodes between the late 1800s, early 1900s.
1921.
Got him.
So he kind of, like, fell into that. When I always talk about, there was an era of, like, heroic individuals. Esoteric thinking really just fucking blossomed during that time, and they pushed it out into the masses. Even people like Aleister Crowley were a part of that, right? And, you know, you got to give props to Blavatsky, even though she inspires some really terrible shit with her fucking ways of thinking.
Shout out Theosophy, you know?
I look more towards, like, Manly P. Hall, because I think he's a better example.
He's a builder.
Yeah. He's the torchbearer. Wink, wink to all the torchbearers out there.
Yeah. Shout out.
You know who you are. But, so he was, Thomas Lynn Bradford was just 48 years old when he took his own life. At a time following the mass murder that was World War I, Europeans had lost their belief in a god, and instead had turned toward a number of other philosophies, theologies, and theosophy to explain existence and non-existence. As a consequence, Bradford's death was well documented in U.S. newspapers of the time, as was the alleged subsequent happenings. Many people in the Western world were interested in spiritualism and the notion of a disembodied afterlife, as was Thomas Bradford himself. However, what was different with Bradford was how he was willing to give his life in an empirical experiment to see whether he could communicate from the other side with a living collaborator. If he had been proven successful, the world of material science would have been turned upside down. But there are many who think that he was successful and did communicate, if not exactly in afterlife, certainly the continuation of conscious awareness.
Yeah, I want to say this right out of the gates. There's not very much that I believe in that would give me that much commitment to an idea like he had. You know, so he sets up the meeting, he meets this female, they talk about it, she's on board, and then he's like, cool,
yeah,
I'll see you later. And then he goes home, seals up his house,
blows out his fucking gas, his pilot light,
turns the gas all the way up, and then he goes on an epic journey.
Yeah.
AKA, he killed himself.
Yeah.
KYS.
Too bad he didn't have Bones and Tubbs.
I know, for sure. If only he did.
The thing is, though, so the problem is that when he did this, other people with different esoteric beliefs, they tried to say that he communicated with them.
Mm-hmm.
And basically rebranded, like they said that he more or less agreed with whatever philosophy that they were a part of, more or less.
Right, to kind of be their shout out, like from the other side.
All except the woman that he initially agreed to talk to.
Yeah.
Said he was going to talk to her.
Do you have the quote of what? Because it was a fairly short message, but it was pretty awesome. I wouldn't say awesome, but I mean, it was, I don't know what word you would use. Interesting. Scott Drake. Hate.
What do you say?
Hate.
Okay, so apparently he did talk to her.
Yeah.
Right? And he said to her, I am the professor who speaks to you from the beyond. I have broken through the veil. The help of the living has greatly assisted me. I simply went to sleep. I woke up and at first did not realize that I had passed on. I did no great change apparent. I expected things to be much different. They are not. Human forms are retained in outline, but not in the physical. I have not traveled far. I am still much in the darkness. I see many people. They appear natural. There is a lightness of responsibility here, unlike in life. One feels full of rapture and happiness. Persons of like natures associate. I am associated with other investigators. I do not repent my act. My present plane is but the first series. I am still investigating the future planes, regarding which we in this plane are as ignorant as are earthly beings of the life just beyond human life.
So he basically described the 2019 welfare state.
Yeah.
Pure rapture, you know, just zero responsibility.
So, more or less, he just said, it's not that much different than it is now. I'm just not physical anymore. Mm-hmm. There are other people here. You tend to bond with people that are like yourself. You know, it's not as, it seems, what I got from it was the pressure of life wasn't there anymore.
Yeah. I like the nod to basically like a virtually infinite amount of other planes that you're still ignorant of.
Yeah.
You're just constantly traveling.
You knew there, but once he crossed over, he knew there were other ones. It's just he hadn't reached them yet.
Right.
That being said, that's fucking cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I give him props. I mean, I don't think I have the... I don't know, man. I don't have it in me to be like, I want to see what's on the other side.
Not
you know
that
what I mean?
much. I mean, I'm not afraid to die, but I'm not trying to like seal my house up, turn off the pilot light, and turn the gas up.
Yeah.
You know, it's like people that are super sure about Christianity, like the Pope. You know, he's supposed to be the one that's in contact with God, right? And yet he drives around in a bulletproof car. Like,
yeah. So obviously he doesn't want to die either.
Yeah, he also fucks kids, so there's that.
Sheesh.
Shots fired. Catholicism.
Boom, boom, boom.
Dun, dun.
But nah, I give the dude mad props.
Yeah.
For piercing the veil.
Definitely cut from the same cloth of our earlier shows. You know, from that same time period.
I would say, though, he might have been able to do what he did and still retain his corporeal form had he just taken a heroic dose of psilocybin.
Yeah.
Hypothetically.
Could have came back and talked about it, too.
Exactly. Like, that's what most people do when they take heroic doses. Talk about what's beyond the veil.
That's probably why I don't fear death, is because of my extensive research with salvia.
You travel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a different kind of traveling.
But you fucking leave.
Yeah.
You literally go.
You're not here anymore.
No. This clown shoes world is temporary.
Yeah, your flesh is still here. Everything else has moved on.
Blaine Burchett said we'll find out if we keep messing with the Clintons.
Fuck them.
Fuck them.
I mean, that threw me.
I know. That's what life's all about. We're growing our new appendages, you know, reaching out to the masses. Like you had a transient ischemic stroke there for a minute.
No, I'm good. I'm good. You know what I mean? You know, it's still doing the body conversion right now, so
I totally understand.
You know, it might be about time for some sort of fat bomb snack or something, just to keep the gears turning in a proper fashion.
Yeah, mushrooms, kilotons.
What?
Amanda Pomander put 3 mushroom emojis in the kiltons. I see. I'm fucking retarded. Kiltons.
Kiltons.
So I'm assuming it was mushrooms for our talk about heroic mushroom doses and kilotons for the Clintons.
Oh, okay.
I thought she meant like kilotons of mega powerful mushrooms.
Yeah, like kilotons worth.
Alex Jones Shroom Force. You know, or whatever the fuck it might be.
Fucking Alex Jones.
I know. Israel shill piece of shit. Thanks for waking me up, though. Love you.
Yeah. Well, now, apparently, like, if you tie all the strings together, he's a shill. You know, Joe Rogan's a shill.
Man, that picture of Joe Rogan kicking it with the son of Anton LaVey.
Yeah.
You know, I've heard the story on his podcast. I get it. You know, you were just hanging out with your friend who was doing a satanic puppet show. But that picture, though, Google Joe Rogan with Anton LaVey's son, and you do the math.
You know, one of these days, I have a bad feeling we're going to have a comeuppance with our shit talking about Joe Rogan.
Let me go back to my previous statement about not being afraid to die.
And Alex Jones, probably.
That's fine.
Well, you know what's going to happen is they're going to bring us on the show I almost said Alex Jones. They're going to bring us on the Joe and Roe Experience with Alex Jones and me and you, and then they're going to proceed to fucking rip us.
I don't think so. I think if we got on that level with their microphones, we would make them seem silly.
Yeah?
The only thing that I worry about, which isn't death, is that I have to smoke weed with them, because then I'm going to be a useless husk.
As far as I'm concerned, the ball is in their court to prove that they're not shills.
Right. Change my mind.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like them putting chemicals in the water. Turn the friggin' frogs gay. Who's that? Orion? Is that Joe Rogan? Or you're talking about Alex Jones being 2.6 feet tall? I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know about you, but I'm afraid of that California weed. I'm not on that.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't done marijuanas in like 9 years.
Well, that's the thing. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna dope us and then make us look like fools because we're gonna be in the fucking stratosphere while they're just tearing us apart.
You want some coffee?
Because, like I said,
Toe Rogan.
But as far as I'm concerned, the ball's in both of their courts to prove me wrong.
Yeah, for sure. I'm here. I'll put you into my schedule.
But now there is a definitive red yarn line that goes between Alex Jones to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Yeah.
And it just goes on to prove more. Like, I feel like if I put this all on the wall, it would, like, form the shape of a giant clown.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Clown World.
Just proves one thing. It is, in fact, Clown World.
I fucking knew it.
Yeah.
All that was required was stepping back and looking at it, everything in its totality.
Exactly.
The Condor said Bones is 3 Rogans tall. He's built like a fucking toe with a 6-pack, though.
Yeah, as I say, I'm pretty sure. I don't think we could take them both.
Listen, man, I'm gonna give him that berserker rage, though.
That's true.
I'm not going down without a fight.
I do have some rage in there. So.
I'm gonna use one of those boot knives too, like on Wild Wild West.
Like with the tip,
yeah,
like the double-edged blade.
You see me wearing like one Nike shoe and one cowboy boot. You know what time it is. Somebody's getting kicked to death.
Right? Exactly.
Yes, he is on gear.
What's that?
The Condor said that dude's on gear. Steroids.
Oh, yeah. I forgot that's slang for steroids. Aren't they both on gear?
Alex Jones is I don't know what he's on. He might just be on beef stew or what was it, chili?
Chili. Yeah, chili made him do it.
I get that chili in me, I just start talking crazy as fuck. Except I still don't talk shit about Israel. Love me some Zion. Got this whole flesh-colored tube that I suck the Zion out of, cover my face with it. Hate.
Like, I can imagine them, like, we're in a helicopter together, and then, like, they go to push us out of the helicopter, and, like, as we're clinging to the edge, Alex Jones comes up and, like, starts prying our fingers loose from the edge of the helicopter and just says, "L'climb."
Yeah. Who, if we're in this fictional Bones and Tubbs versus Alex Jones and Joe Rogan death match, who's going to inevitably save our lives?
Who's that?
Mark Passio.
Oh, I would hope so.
Definitively.
Like, he's just going to come in, like...
looking like a school shooter.
Little did you know, being a fucking 15th level fucking anarchist wizard gives you fire breath.
Yeah.
That neither of them have.
Rocking that beard that's on point with that Jesus hair,
Yeah. He just comes in, starts talking about fucking solipsism and fucking all that shit and occult symbology. And
Passio needs to be careful because he's been on Alex Jones' show twice now.
Has he? You better watch out.
Yeah. Like how people used to get killed with ninja stars? It'll get killed with a razor sharp Star of David.
Exactly. Exactly. Hey, just a reminder, folks, we're not anti-Semitic. We have nothing against the actual Jewish faith.
No, just Zionism
just
in general.
Zionism in general. I feel like I got to throw it out there when we start cracking a little too hard.
I get it, man. It's like a preemptive thing, you know?
Yeah.
It's like saying no homo.
To get accused. Because, like, you know, here's the thing.
We
live in an age where people think it's okay that to call someone anti-Semitic for criticizing Israeli policy.
Yeah, well, those same people use racism to describe everything they see in the world.
Yeah. So they kind of they get what's coming to them at that point when we're talking about that. You know what I mean? Like, they got because they say some other dumb shit.
I get it.
I agree with them on one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? That doesn't mean I agree with you on any of your other fucking dumb bullshit.
The Condor says, bro, I talk shit about Israel and I'm chili free.
Is that what it is then? It's the chili, isn't it?
It's got to be.
So maybe, you know, I haven't eaten chili in a while. It's been warm out. So maybe when I eat chili again, it'll be...
Is it kosher chili too?
You'll start talking about shit and like Zionism and shit. And I'm like, that's fucking racist. You anti-Semitic piece of shit. You might as well be wearing a fucking swastika.
It's all that pro-estrogen fucking textured vegetable protein in place of actual man meat. Yeah. You know, no homo on the man meat.
Well, it's like I saw that Whopper, like they came out with this Whopper that's like fake meat. Ew. And now KFC's coming out with chicken nuggets that are fake too.
Well, I mean, their food's been fake for a long time, so I can't be too shocked.
What, the Colonel?
Man, fuck the Colonel.
I like the Colonel.
Yeah, I mean, I like MSG too.
I mean, I like Bojangles better, but...
They need to just call it MSG instead of KFC.
Well, I haven't had it in a while, so...
There's a place that I tried not that long ago. I don't know... I want to say it's called Louisiana Hot.
Popeyes?
No, just Louisiana Hot.
Chicken?
Yeah, it's in the Austin Landing.
Huh.
And they come in, it's like 3 different heats, and it's baked into the breading. Okay. So I was like, I like some hot, you know?
Yeah.
And then I felt like I took a full 100-gram blast of Fox to the mouth.
Ooh.
I ate about 1.5 of those chicken tenders, and I threw them away. I was like, I can't eat this shit. It's really good, though. Shout out chicken place I can't remember.
Okay, then. I think that about wraps it up for us.
Yeah.
So before we go, we didn't do it at the beginning of the show, so I guess we'll do it at the end. Because we were just talking about this with somebody the other day, and they said they hated when people do advertisements in the middle of the fucking
Time
show.
to pay the bills. Yeah.
So, because this is the part either at the beginning or at the end, you could fucking turn it off, fast forward it, do whatever you want to do.
Or you could go to patreon.com/bones and tubs and give us $1 a month or whatever you feel like.
Okay, keep us advertisement free.
Yeah.
I mean, all we advertise is our Patreon for the most part and our socials.
Yeah.
Like, keep us so we don't have to fucking shill someone else's fucking product.
Right. I'm not trying to do that. There are only, like we've said before on numerous occasions, there's only a few companies that I would certainly seek out.
Do you really want us hawking Goldman's yarmulke satchels? You know what I mean? Like, come on now.
I mean, I wouldn't mind it. Because
and then never talk about fucking Zionism again.
Because my house is paid off. You know, that would be okay.
Yeah.
I'm still going to probably end up getting killed, though, because I violated the terms of that contract.
So you go over to Patreon. You start with $1 a month. Give us that money. Because, you know, it's not like it's going to go towards hookers and blow. We're just going to spend it on the show to make it even better.
Yeah. I mean, we don't do hookers or blow.
Yeah.
We're sucker free here at the Bones and Tubs podcast.
And we're halfway carb free. I'm carb free.
Yeah. 50% of the Bones and Tubs podcast is carb free.
Yeah. I looked at you in disgust the other day while you ate your rice and chicken.
I know. Here I am trying to be a better version of myself, and I'm getting judged.
It'll happen.
I know.
Right?
Bro. And I welcome it.
But no, so other than that, you can message us over on Instagram.
Instagram.com/bones and tubs.
Hey, talk to us. We like talking to you.
Yes.
You could go over to Twitter.
Twitter.com/bones tubs or @bones tubs.
Yeah. We still have Facebook.
Fedbook.com/bones and tubs.
And just a reminder, because somebody asked earlier, you can find us on all the podcatchers.
Yes. Every podcast app, we be there. We're even on Spotify for podcasts now.
Like, you could throw a dart blindly at the app screen for podcatchers, and I could guarantee you'll find the Bones and Tubs podcast on it. You know, just to name a few, so you're like, which one should I pick?
Yeah.
I use Stitcher. But that might be someone's, you know, if you have an Apple phone, you could use iTunes.
Yeah.
Or you could use Beyondpod, or you could use Spotify.
Yeah.
You know?
Or you could go to YouTube.
Yeah.
We have a lot of people that listen to the podcast, and I would really appreciate if you all went over to our YouTube page, subscribed on there.
If we saw you subscribing on there more, we might upload some random videos more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe some car rants and stuff that I have. Because, my ride home from the Factory of Sadness sometimes gets me in a straight fucking rage.
Yeah.
I'm sure all of you would love to, have a little Schadenfreude moment, watch me suffer. You can't watch me suffer today because it's not hot as balls in the studio today.
And it's your day off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But, if we get more subscribers, I'll throw some videos up there.
There you go.
Hey, I got pets, too. I'll throw pet videos up there.
Look at my cats.
Look at my cats.
Check this dog out.
I got fat lady cats.
Yeah. That's good.
Oh, Lord, she coming,
We're also on Venmo, which is a Cash App. We're also on Cash App.
Yeah.
I mean, we're basically, if you want to talk to us, listen to us, or send us money, there's not any way you can't do it.
Yeah, PayPal. All of it.
Yeah.
So, you got all that information.
Yeah.
If you listen to it.
Indeed.
So, I'm going to end the show how I always end the show. We'd like to thank you all for listening. We hope you have a good week.
For sure.
We hope you enjoyed this episode. We hope you're here next time to listen to the next episode. Join us every Tuesday, sometime during the day.
Yep.
We will be doing live all the time.
Yes.
If you want to watch us live.
Most def.
Other than that, we hope you have a prosperous rest of your week and a great beginning to September.
I'm going to end it with a quote.
Okay.
Stay strapped or get clapped. Sun Tzu. We love you.
We really do.
Cryptic as a Nas intro. Damn right, I grew up on Esco. And rockin' and Pac, exposing the plot. I lost my heart when Soldier Slim got shot, but they still live on, and more than these songs. I'm in a war just to right these wrongs, so I write these songs and spit it from the heart. And came from the side that they call dog, how to label, boxed in a trap, living life under a microscope and attack. That's all of us living against the odds. They were never in our favor. Check the paper that they print and sell. It's all a scam. Fake is the money that's in your hand. Have you seen the plans or read a book? Or do you hide your face? Are you afraid to look? Well, that'll all change when there's nowhere to go. Just do me a favor, don't turn cold, cause it'll be rough when you finally see. But it'll be worth it cause you'll be free. It's a state of mind, a sense that makes sense. Don't you forget that we're all heaven sent. Look from the stars, we're in charge. But right now, we're all living at large. 101 for being nothing but born free, and then wrapped in thorns. If you do the math and add it up, you might finally see that we've had enough. Cause anyone living who's less than 13 years of age has been living in a cage since that day they cursed us all when they blew them up and we watched them fall. Every day that they've been alive, they've been living in a line, the world at war. Every day that they've been alive, they've been living in a line, the world at war. Every day that they've been alive, they've been living in a line, the world at war. Every day that they've been alive, they've been living in a line, a world at war. Nah, it ain't all good, but I won't let them take what's left of what's good. The power we hold, the love we know, and we can see when the eyes are closed. It may feel like the hate's about to win, cause it's all you see. Just a sin they played to pray every day on our minds to keep it all in a cage. They choose what they feed on the TV, and they thrive on hate, so that's all you see. More of the same, the hate and pain, the doubt and fear, the darker rain, and the same old fool who lives the rule, who's got the cure and the right last name. And if you don't pay to play the game, they might take you out and then blow your brains. I ain't shocked that they shot him, I'm surprised that they locked them all the way into the end of days. That's how it goes when you give it away, your power over the cowards who were ruled by force. And show up at your porch on a pale white horse and then hunt you down just like a sport that's real. But see, what hurts the most is those who watch like it's all a show, like the Hunger Games, cheering all the while they're living in chains that they can't see. But I don't blame them, cause I know what they face. I'm just like them, tracked and traced to keep us safe. Why? We're enemies of the state. Every day that they've been alive, they've been living in a line, the world at war. Every day that they've been alive, they've been living in a line, the world at war. Every day that they've been alive, they've been living in a line, the world at war. Every day that they've been alive, they've been living in a line, the world at war.